All right, so today I'm headed in for my third x-ray of that fourth metatarsal bone in my left foot that I broke. It's been over 7 weeks now, and the first x-ray, there was a sign of a break. Then the second x-ray that I had done was about maybe 4 weeks into it, and there was a clear indicator that it was broken. It was right across the bone, and I'm not a medical person, but I could see that it was broke. It was blatantly obvious, but there were no significant signs of healing at that point. So what I'm hoping to see today is that it is indeed healing. It doesn't feel like it's healed a lot, frankly, and I'm disappointed about that, because typically it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to heal a broken bone, and it doesn't feel much better than it did a few weeks ago. So I'm hoping that in spite of that the news is, yes, it is healing, you're on the right track, even though you're feeling some discomfort. That's what I'm hoping that my doctor will say, but we're going to find out. So in the meantime, he did not put me in a walking boot, and that's for good reason. Most sports medicine physicians that are dealing with this type of an issue, try to stay away from that, because there's a downside to being put in a walking boot where you're non-weight bearing, for 4 or 5, 6 weeks. And we can talk about that maybe in another video. But alternatively, and the reason I bring that up is he did have me buy a carbon fiber plate to put in my shoes. And this isn't a propulsive plate. There's no curvature to it. It's a flat plate, and the idea is to keep my toes from flexing, so that it will relieve some of the pressure and some of the pain. And it has worked, but I had to experiment. I had to really move that plate around into different shoes. And fortunately for me, I have a lot of shoes that I can choose from. I had to stay away from stability shoes. I really thought that was going to be the cat's pajamas, putting them in a pair of either my Gaviotas or the Gelcianos, something like that. And I did that, but it did not work. It did not work well at all, because there's too many stability features built into that shoe, especially like with the Asics Gelciano 31s, where it has that 4D technology, and the latest Gaviotas are kind of the same, where your foot sinks in and you've got stability on both sides of your foot. But that plate wanted to just kind of ride on top of all of that foam, and so it just didn't feel comfortable. And I wanted it to work. I tried it for a while, thinking that I would get used to it, and honestly it didn't do me any good. My foot felt worse. So I experimented with a number of different shoes. So if this happens to you, what I found for me anyway is to find a shoe that doesn't have an overly aggressive meta rocker, but still offers some cushion, so that I can relieve some of the pressure on that fourth metatarsal bone. And I went back to a throwback pair of shoes. They're a couple years old. It's the Brooks Glycerins, and I think that's the 19s. I think I have the 19s on, and they're working pretty well. I used them this morning. I rode my stationary bike indoors on Zwift, and if you guys follow me on Strava, you can check out some of the workouts I'm doing. It's been pretty light this last week. You might have been able to tell from the last couple of videos that I sound congested, and that's because I've been pretty sick, honestly, and it turned into kind of a sinus thing, so I'm taking some antibiotic for that, and it's starting to clear up. But it's been kind of miserable. For me. Just trying to get through all of the things that I got going on, sickness and injury and that kind of stuff. And then to top it off, I'm going to do a video about this because I had to do a little bit of research when it happened to me. But when I was out on the trails the other day, and I was just doing a bit of an unboxing review and first thoughts or first impressions, my first impressions anyway, the Hoka Tecton X3s, I got bit by a tick. So it's like, what else can happen? What else can happen? Let's not find out. Let's not find out. So anyway, that kind of brings you up to speed where I'm at today. So I am gonna get in the car. I gotta check my watch here. Oh yeah, I gotta get going. My appointment's in about 35 minutes, and it takes me 30 minutes to get there. So I'll let you know how it goes. All right, let's go check it out. Let's hope for good news. let's hope for good news. And I hope wherever you guys are happy, healthy, and staying safe, and that you're not on the injured list and you're off to a good start to this summer. But I'm going to go find out where my foot stands. All right, let's go do this. All right, so I made it down here. I can't chit-chat for very long because I'm running a little bit later than I expected. There's always road construction, things like that. I should know that, especially this time of year. So I'm gonna head in. A little anxious, also a little nervous. I'm hoping that the news is good, but I'm nervous that it's not. So we're gonna go on and find out together. All right. So I just finished up. Had an opportunity to look at a couple of x-rays side by side. The previous one and this one, and still not significant signs of healing, but some signs of healing, which is really disappointing given how much time it's been already. So I got another appointment in another 3 weeks, and hopefully at that point it'll be not completely healed necessarily, but at least a lot further along than it is right now. And I took some pictures of the x-rays off the screen to be able to share with you guys, kind of show you what I mean. But you know, the break is still clearly visible, so there's still a lot more healing to go. My hope of starting to train for the Chicago Marathon on June 21st is, you know, that's just not going to happen at this point. Not with running anyway. It doesn't mean I still can't do some things to help try to get fit or stay fit and strong and things like that, but it just won't be running. It won't be running, not for a little while yet. So fingers crossed that you know, I'll be able to start running and training for the Chicago Marathon with enough time to be prepared in October. It seems like October's a long ways away, but when you're dealing with weeks and weeks of recovery and healing and things like that, that time gets pretty short. So, all right, I am gonna jump in the car because I have got lots of errands to run before I head home and start putting this video together for all of you. All right, I hope wherever you guys are that things are going well. I think I mentioned that earlier. Guess nothing wrong with mentioning it twice. All right, you guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed making it for you, even though it wasn't the news that I was hoping for. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you next time right here on Run Tall with Tim.